Hello everyone and welcome to my Death Knight preparation guide. In this guide I'm gonna talk about different things you can prepare right now, but also things you can do in the pre-patch to be as ready as possible for Wrath of the Lich King. A preparation that you can do in Burning Crusade is to buy different rare weapons so you can level a bit faster. This could for example be the level 60 rare weapon, Blade of Misfortune, but also the Axe of the Legion, a level 63 one-hand axe that is extremely useful as a Frost Death Knight, also because it provides a lot of expertise and you can equip two of these at the same time. Another useful weapon as an Unholy and Blood Death Knight is the Crystal Forged War Axe, a level 69 two-hand weapon. At level 70 you can also purchase two cheap epic weapons on the auction house. Either this axe that has a chance to increase your haste rating, but it could also be this mace. I know the intellect and the restore mana is not useful for Death Knight, but still the strength, the stamina and the damage on the weapon is fairly decent for fresh level 70 Death Knight. For those of you that plan to tank as a level 70 Death Knight in the pre-patch, then I recommend you the Fellstill set. 3 tanking items that provides a lot of stamina, defense and gem slots. So if you need even more defense, you can always equip these items with gems that provides more defense. For those of you that would rather like to do DPS, I recommend you the Rage Still set. 3 items that increases your strength and crit, and there's even some shoulder pads that also increases your hit. Even the full set will grant you some additional hit, and this is essential as a fresh level 70. Later in the video I'll show you more items we can purchase, so we can start doing the different Burning Crusade raids even faster. But first I would like to show you different things that is important to do when you're leveling your Death Knight. When you reach level 65, I would recommend you to do the Ring of Blood in Nagrand. There's a lot of different quests you can do to get gold, but also a ton of experience. And the final quest will even grant you a two-hand axe. This is such a good weapon that will increase your leveling speed by a lot, and you will most likely be able to use this all the way up to level 70. At level 65, you can also pick up these 2 quests outside the dungeon Zedek Halls. In the first quest, there's 2 rewards for your class, either this polearm or this leather headpiece. In the second quest, you can choose some decent necks, either this one for tanking or this one for DPS. Between level 67 to 69, I would recommend you to do the dungeon Steam Walls at least once. Outside the dungeon, you can pick up a quest that will reward a decent plate helm. And all you need to do to complete this is simply just to kill the final boss inside the dungeon. When you're in here, you'll most likely find some qualifying armaments at the same time. These you need to keep to gain some reputation with a faction, but also to get some additional experience. And at the same time, try to find this item inside the dungeon as well. It will start a quest that we need to do. By completing this one, you'll unlock a follow-up that tells you to bring a qualifying armament. This was the item you looted inside Steam Walls, and now you can hand this in instantly to get some additional experience. This will also unlock the opportunity to hand in more qualifying armaments. It will not grant you experience, but instead reputation with Cenarian Expedition. And the reason why this will be important is because by the time that you reach the word, you can purchase a head enchant. This will increase your hit and attack power. There's a lot more things to prepare, and these I'll show you in a moment. But when you're about to level your Death Knight, I recommend you to get one add-on, Rested Experience. An add-on that will tell you the perfect route to level from 55 to 70, but also an add-on you can use in Wrath of the Lich King from level 1 to 80. It will tell you when to use your Hearthstone, when to set your Hearthstone to a new location, what quests to do in which order, and what you need to do in the different quests, and there's even an arrow that will guide you to the next location. This is such a time saver, and that's why I always use this myself when I'm leveling a new character. You can find a link to this add-on in the description below the video. Anyway, on to the next thing to prepare. When you are leveling, I would recommend you to also do the dungeon Shadow Labyrinth. In Shadow Labyrinth, there's so many different quests to do to get some additional experience. I usually do this dungeon when I'm level 69, and besides getting gold and experience from the quest, you can also choose some rewards. As a Death Knight, I recommend you to pick the plate boots, and in the second quest, either pick the plate braces for tanking or the leather braces for DPS. When you're questing, make sure to do this in all the zones. This will give you reputation with different factions, and this is needed to purchase the heroic keys. Overall, you will also save time because you get reputation and experience at the same time. So you don't have to go back at level 70 to do low level quests and low level dungeons to farm reputations. There's a faction that I recommend you to focus on if you plan to tank as a Death Knight, and that's the Keepers of Time. When you reach the Vert, you unlock this tanking hidden enchant that provides defense and dodge, and this hidden enchant is even useful in the beginning of Wrath of the Lich King. In Shadwood City, you can choose between either the Eldor or the Squires. You can hand in fell armaments to get reputation with the Eldor, or you can hand in Arcane Tomes to get reputation with the Squires. For anyone with a lot of gold, I would recommend you to get to Exalted with one of these factions. This will unlock some blue shoulder enchants that is useful in Burning Crusade, but even in Wrath of the Lich King. So you can use these shoulder enchants when you're leveling your character, but also in the beginning when you reach level 80. The reason for why you can use these at level 80 is simply because you need reputation with the different Wrath of the Lich King factions to unlock the new head and shoulder enchants. So it's simply better to use your Burning Crusade enchants instead of not using anything on your new shoulder and head pieces. When you're leveling your Death Knight, make sure to also use different flasks. For example, this one that increases your maximum health and defense, or another one that increases your attack power. Using these between level 65 to 70 will definitely have an impact on your leveling speed. On the auction house, you can purchase level 70 epic items to make sure you start doing different heroics and raids even faster. The first item you could purchase as a tank is going to be this ring, and as a DPS you might find the Cloak of Darkness useful. If you have a lot of gold, make sure to also purchase the Red Belt of Battle and even the Chest Guard of Exile. And as a tank you could also purchase these two Darkmoon decks. Just remember that you need Darkmoon Fair to be active, else you cannot hand in these decks and get the trinkets. Magisters to raise as a normal dungeon that is going to be important to do. On normal mode, you have a chance to get these epic plate boots, and because you collect these on normal mode, you can just reset the dungeon over and over. In this dungeon, there's also a quest chain to do, and this will unlock heroic mode. On heroic mode, there are so many useful items as a Death Knight, including these two trinkets. On top of this, you can also get this chest piece and the weapon, and like it wasn't enough, there's an additional weapon with slower attack speed and also some shoulder pieces. So make sure to do Magisters to raise heroic every single day to increase your chance of getting geared as fast as possible. By the time that you've got some decent gear, make sure to start doing the different raids. For example tier 4 raids or maybe even Suleiman. That's an easy way to get some more epic items and even badges. And these badges you can use to purchase different level 70 epic items. There's for example some cheap ones that isn't that great, but you can also buy some more expensive items that is equal to tier 5 and 6 items. Now that I'm already talking about raiding, make sure to head back to Caverns of Time and pick up this quest. This will tell you to collect 2 quest items, one of these being from the final boss in Serpent's Shrine Caverns, and the other one being from the final boss in Tempest Keep. When you have collected these 2, head back to the same NPC. This will also reward you with a decent ring. You can choose this one for tanking, but there's also a decent one for DPS. Remember, you can only get one of these rings, so choose carefully. So what should you do next? Well, simply continue to do heroics and raids to get some better gear so you can level faster in Wrath of the Lich King. Another thing you could do as well is to do PvP, because with honor you can purchase different level 70 epic items, but you can also keep the honor for Wrath of the Lich King. Another important thing to take care of is your professions. Ideally, you would like to reach at least level 350 so you can learn the new professions in the next expansion. On top of this, try to get your epic flying skill. This will have a huge impact in the next expansion, simply because you can start using your flying mounts at level 77, so this will increase your leveling speed to reach level 80 even faster. If you would like to see more classic videos, make sure to check out the channel. In the future, I will also post more videos for Wrath of the Lich King, but also the upcoming Fresh servers. To make sure you don't miss those videos, subscribe and hit the notification bell. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace.